What's up? What's poppin'? How y'all doing? It's your favorite candy lady, MrsiCandi. And I got my girl Karma Fox. Listen, y'all, we giving y'all 30 minutes again of reality TV review because even though it's Friday and we normally do our hot topics and our pop culture segment, it's a lot going on with the Smiths. And we have to watch this Dateline interview that's coming on at 8. So we want to get you guys a reality TV show review, take a little pause, and then we're going to come right after the Dateline interview, give our thoughts about what's going on with that and a few other hot topics, and roll out. So we got a little busy night for y'all. So without further ado, this is the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 18. So I watched it, and then I didn't take notes. And then I just watched most of it again, and I took notes. So that's a good thing. I just don't know how to end part. But I remember what happened, kind of, sort of, and hopefully Karma can fill me in. Karma?
Yeah, I watched it today. I did, because I was so glad you changed it, because I was like, girl, I forgot about this show. Let me go watch that real quick. So, yes, I did watch it. The scene ended up starting out with the cafe scene. It picks up from last week.
Right.
With Marsal and Melody.
Mm-hmm. Was there any other added value?
Like, he did a half-assed apology.
He did.
He did.
I mean, Mel brought the big thing up and said, "You scared of me being friends with Letitia because I'm gonna empower her to leave your ass." And he said, "I actually want you to be friends with Letitia." And then Mel just goes back to, "I'm tired of you throwing jabs." He makes light of it, like, she said, "You know, I built." He said, "I don't know what you do besides e-commerce. I don't know what you do." She said, "You know what I do? You know, I've done all this other kind of stuff." And he said, "No, I don't." She said, "You know, I do the what is
property reservation."
He said, "I didn't know you still did that." And she's like, "Yes, you do, because you was just talking about it on a live. Like, you was just," and he was like, "That was 2019 or whatever." And it's like, okay, so what? Since 2019, I stopped doing it, Marcel. Like, come on, let's not be stupid. Let's not play games. So she said, "I built a company that made $1 million in a year." And he was like, "And that company went bankrupt." And she corrected him, like, "No, my company not go bankrupt. I went through a divorce and filed bankruptcy and got rid of the company." Don't, like, girl.
But here's the thing, and this is what doesn't make sense, and this is how I would have just did everything he's saying. If I wasn't worthy enough to be paid for speaking, then how was I worthy enough to give value to your expo in the first place? Mm-hmm. So two things can't exist at the same time. If you do not feel like my business, whether that would have been e-commerce or anything else, is of value, then why would you have given them that anyway?
Right.
If you claim you wanted to give the people a value, why did you ask her to speak anyway?
Mm-hmm. And that was another point that I got after that, when they have their town hall. So that was that. You go to the Withlow Park outing. Tiffany is trying to gain sympathy by saying Lou works a whole bunch. Since she had Ace, he was there for a couple of weeks and he took off because he coaches and they have like travel games, I'm assuming. So he's not there as much. And it's hard for her. She just had a baby. You know, you can't lift certain stuff. And she's starting to let us know that she thinks she's experiencing postpartum. And I want to say this first. Postpartum is very serious, right? I went through it really bad with my son. So postpartum is a big deal. We are not going to, make light of that or in any way, shape, or form. But it is hard to have sympathy for Tiffany, someone who is messy and starts stuff with everybody. It is hard to be sympathetic for Tiffany when she basically forced Lou to have this baby. And he told her, "It ain't gonna be what you want. I don't think we should do this." But she really wanted it. She said she got it. She can do it. And now it's like, you work too much. I need you to take care of the baby because I want to get back to my life. No, girl, you asked for this baby. So it's so hard to have sympathy for her. However, I don't want to make light. If she is really experiencing postpartum and she's not trying to gain sympathy from us, get help. Like, seriously, because it's a real thing. However, it just feels like you just trying to have a storyline, and I was just irritated. But what did you think about that whole situation with Tiffany and Lou?
Well, you know my temperament. I think both of them got some room for some accountability. I think that Tiffany kind of romanticized having this baby. Mm-hmm. I don't think she kind of took into all of the possibilities that may exist, especially with her being older compared to where she had her other kids. That postpartum may be something that she dealt with. I mean, Lou did tell her they had a busy schedule. He didn't think that any of these things were a great idea. And I think that once it happened and once she was in it and once the symptoms started, I think that reality hit her.
Mm-hmm.
However, Lou, if people, and I don't really like speaking on marriages because I only know divorce. I don't know how to be married, right? But I feel like this goes for any relationship, just in general. If you have your boundaries, those are your boundaries. So if this is a whole human being, Lou, if you did not want the baby, you should have stuck to the boundary.
Agreed.
You should have. This is not a compromise, like whether or not we're gonna have meatloaf versus mashed potatoes or whatever. Like, this is a whole kid. So if you felt like, regardless of what she was saying, you did not want to slow down, you did not want to do this, you should have stand firm on that and said no. Because now, just like how kids are, and you can't prepare for everything, she is now going through postpartum, and you now have to show up in a way that you weren't expecting, but also can be expected when having kids. So I think there's room for both of them.
I agree. For sure.
To have done some things differently. Sure. But baby Ace here now, so like he said, I guess he's gonna have to figure that out.
And also with Tiffany, there was a part where she was saying how, she's gaining weight. She doesn't know if Lou is stepping out of her, if he's happy in the marriage, if he's happy in that. One thing he said to her was, like, once you get to know me, one thing you got to know about me is, I'm always gonna be who I am, whatever. And it was like, damn, y'all married, and y'all was giving up so much marriage relationship, and then everybody's marital business. What you mean? One thing to know about you, she don't know that about you, Lou? I was confused because they was judging everybody's marriage, and they was giving.
I do think that's a place of contention for them. I do think they don't mind their business enough, and I do think they give unsolicited advice where it's not needed. And I don't think that just because you have success, especially when we talk about a range and nuance of topics such as parenting or relationships, doesn't make you an expert, because people have their own set of values and definitions of how they choose to parent or be in relationship with people. That just because you got that don't mean you still know how to make theirs work, right? So with that being said, I think that especially if she's stating she's going through postpartum, I think it's natural, because our body changes. I mean, before I had kids, I was 145. So I mean, I think it is natural to be like, dang, like, I'm not who I used to be. And sometimes you just need a reassurance, because when your body is changing, you want to make sure your partner is still attracted to you, right? And so to me, I think that this taps more into her postpartum and just not feeling herself.
I think it would have been really a good storyline for someone else. It's hard for a lot of the fans to relate to Tiffany, and it's sad because, again, I can't relate to that story, and I think it's a very powerful story. And how can you be there for your partner going through postpartum? That is a big issue in marriage, like a big issue. Absolutely. So I think it's a very important topic to discuss. I just think the Whitlows ain't the ones to give it to us.
No, we're still pretty early in this second half of the season that I'm interested to kind of see where it goes. I think that this is a storyline I would be worth watching. Besides her just being in people's business, I would like to see how Tiffany and Lou navigated, especially because you made a good point to say y'all always have all the answers. So I am interested to see how y'all deal with this type of conflict within y'all marriage. What are you going to do?
Or how they would
now look like you shrugging your shoulders, Lou.
How would they react if Marceau or Tisha or Kimmy or Mel or anybody starts questioning their marriage and start calling them out, like, Lou, your wife is this. Tiffany, you said this, because they quick to do that to other people in their storms. So I think it's a very humble experience for them, if anything. Okay, now hopefully you can take it when they give it to you. That's all I'm saying.
No, they couldn't even take Dr. Francis for the first 5 minutes he was there, so they won't handle that critique well. But as a viewer, I would like to see more than just this charade image of giving bones back and forth. Okay, let's get back to real storyline, and if she's willing to share her postpartum journey, let's let that happen. Yeah, let's let that happen.
We'll see what happens. We'll follow it for now. But y'all know. Okay, so we got the town hall meeting. Stormy didn't greet Marceau, and he's heartbroken. Marcel mentions that he met with Mel the day before. He explained to them that she can only sell her products because of her platform, and he didn't really find value in that for the expo, as Tisha would call it. And Martell asked, if selling merchandise is not relevant anymore or important anymore because she has a platform. And then he starts to kind of go, when you could tell he wants to, I guess, defend Mel in a sense. And I mean, he's right in what he's saying, but it's just hard to believe or buy anything Martell was doing as genuine without being calculated and to get something. As that is going on, Mel walks in, and then she's like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" Because they start instantly going to her. Mel, y'all meeting? What did you do? She's like, "Wait, I came in to give constructive criticism. I'm talking about my meeting yesterday." What did you think about Martell jumping the kind of try to defend Mel in that whole little thing?
That's typical. I don't care about Martell. That's typical. Anything he can attach his name to with Melody, as if they're a whole unit, or it's something that they did in the past that are together, he's always going to do that.
Okay.
He's always going to do that. So he was on brand for that. Okay. I wanted to quickly give commentary on the fact that Marceau mentioned that Mel's wouldn't be successful without her platform.
Right.
And I think that is a jab for sure, because however, even let's say she didn't have all these other businesses, if she did and was able to utilize her platform in order to create a business, and you talking about, well, there's people who don't have platforms and they want to, I think it's disingenuous because, and no shade to this girl, these are just facts. Sweetie has a platform, but she cannot sell a record.
Mm-hmm.
She has bad record sales. They're not as successful as I'm sure she would like them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you have a platform does not necessarily equate to being able to be successful with engagement and support.
Right.
Because I hit that follow button don't mean I'm going to ever see you again on my timeline. I see what I engage with, and it does not mean that equates. And we had this conversation back with SWV and Escape about followers versus support and ticket sales. So even if that was a jab, because however she got her platform, if people are buying her product, it still has to be a good product.
Right. And I guess where Mel is coming from is, that's not my only business. Even if that's something you don't respect, the business that you're in is because of the business I created and put you on for. So don't act like I don't bring value with conversations about this kind of stuff, because you would not be here in the position you're in to have an expo, to have people, to have a platform if it wasn't for me and my business mind that brought your ass in. So that's where it's coming from.
Absolutely. But my thing is, even if she did, like, we don't have a whole TikTok community that's selling tumblers and other things. Like, the fact that whatever the business is, there's always a market for it, and there's always a way to build it. So nobody want to hear that. Like, what she has is still respected in her skincare and her t-shirts. Because if it was a bad product, I don't care. It wouldn't move shelves. Now, y'all know I love me some candied yams. But her songs that are new don't move as well. Not saying they don't move, but not as well as when she writes and does her other ventures.
Right.
So just because you have even engagement and support doesn't mean people want bad products.
Right.
Give her credit, because there is definitely an audience for people who sell e-commerce.
And not even just t-shirt, like, not even the success part of the t-shirts and the platform, but how did you create your own t-shirt brand? Who did you go to for distributing? Who do you go to for marketing? Like, it's other stuff besides how much money she makes. The fact that she's able to have somebody print the t-shirts, who uses the vinyl? Do you do it yourself? Do you go through a company? Like, it's still value, because people actually like to make merch for their other stuff. So
Absolutely.
Scratch all of that. The knowledge that she has behind it, how she did it, how
it's
she
transferable to any other business
like,
that you want to do.
that.
And I personally think that her versatility in the businesses she has relates to a broader audience, because not everyone in that Black Expo was into real estate.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Unless y'all marketed specifically for people with real estate, which I doubt you did, because Stormy is in beauty,
right,
and skincare and all that type of stuff. So everybody's not into the same lane. And so even if it was e-commerce, there's still an audience for it. And he should have been cussed completely out.
Yes. Agree.
Again at the table, because now I don't accept your apology again. I got mad all over.
Yeah. So okay, Mel gives her constructive criticism about having a breakout group, right? She felt like if they would have had breakout groups, you know, for people that maybe was into real estate, was into e-commerce, was into the beauty industry, they can go into those breakout groups and learn more about that actual piece of material, which is smart. What's great constructive criticism. Loved it. Marceau, well, no, Tisha explains why they didn't have them, but then she says that they're open to have them in the future. Now, what was interesting was Tisha said that they thought about having the breakout groups, but the group, like the comeback group, wasn't really on board at the last meeting and all that for what they were going to do. So they decided not to go that route. But my thing is, was Mel going to add value as far as being in one of those breakout groups that you guys were considering, but you didn't think she held any value?
Yes, it goes back to my original statement. It was all good till she asked to be paid.
Exactly.
And now all of a sudden you question her value. It's really that simple. You were fine with it until she said she wanted to be paid. And I did kind of a little bit agree with Mel with Tisha was very quiet until Mel made make that statement. I do think there might be some of that, but I honestly, like I keep saying this, I think Tisha and Mel would be in a better space. I'm not saying BFFs, but I think they would be in a better space if men weren't involved. And sometimes I think
more open to constructive criticism. Now Tisha seems like every time somebody gives constructive criticism, she's just taking it as an insult. Right now she's overly sensitive, and I do feel like it's the history and the men and the situation, because
they definitely ganged up on her last episode. Absolutely.
But Mel wasn't a part of that gang up.
Mel had her 2 cents to add with Marceau. So I guess what I'm saying is, if we're gonna be honest and we're gonna be fair, I haven't heard not one of them talk about what was positive. Now, I just dragged the old boy about this. If you're gonna give constructive criticism, you also have to tell people what worked and what should have stayed. So, I didn't hear that.
So to me, with Mel saying breakout groups would be a great addition, I think that's constructive criticism. With Stormy saying, I felt like it was missing the motivational aspect piece. Because for me, when I didn't have nothing, that was what I had to go on, was a hope and a dream. So I feel like that'll bring value. They were trying to give constructive criticism.
So you're telling me all the things that need to be changed. And I think that balanced constructive criticism is not just telling you what you need to work on. It's also telling you what your strengths are and what are already working, and trying to fuse that together. So in my opinion, yes, breakout sessions is a wonderful idea, but she also said it was very unorganized. What worked? What worked? So Tisha being defensive, I'm sorry. I think Tisha's in her right to her feelings. Because what worked, y'all? Nothing. Y'all didn't say y'all like the setup. Y'all didn't say y'all like the space. Y'all didn't say it was a really good turnout. Y'all didn't like a flyer. You didn't like anything, marketing, advertising. Like, I'm being honest. At least from what was shown, I'm sure that conversation went a while.
Right.
But I have yet to hear anything positive from that group about the Black Expo, but y'all want to have a town hall. To me, that sounds like Yelp reviews or a comment section.
I can give you that. But
y'all supposed to be cool and friends. Y'all about it.
I take it as the way it's edited, because the way it's edited, they weren't able to continue the conversation for us to see if we went in a different light. It was like,
oh please, they've been talking about this damn shit for 3 episodes. There ain't nobody said nothing positive.
Nobody to have a conversation, because if we have a conversation, I tell you blah 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 was bad, and you instantly be like, well, I can't get to the good part. Maybe you need to start with the good thing.
You always have to start with a good part. Okay, think about it. Those that are parents, or if you don't have children, you at a job and you get a review, right? Nobody wants to hear, because you'll tune out, with your list of negatives.
Yeah.
You always should start off with, hey, your child is a very has a leadership quality. They're always motivated to learn. I noticed this, I noticed that. Here's where I think we should use some of these strengths, because your kid also does a lot of talking. If we can get that down, I think the rest of the class will model, because they have a leadership quality. Sounds a whole lot better than your kid talk too much, jumps around, does this, does that. You always should start with what you like about something. It allows the listener to listen than to just sit here and run down a list of goddamn negatives. And y'all been doing that to Tisha since the expo.
I guess I feel like the way this meeting started, when Marcel instantly, when I had a meeting with Mel, I don't feel like she brings value. It already started the tone bad. And that's what Kimmy meant when she said, Marcel, you always messed it up. Because it's not a Tisha thing. To me,
but nobody gave Tisha anything nice. Right. Y'all was just at Baby Ace. Yeah. Nobody said not one time to Tisha about anything nice. Y'all keep saying y'all got an issue with Marceau. What did you like that Tisha did? Did Tisha work the room? Did she greet her vendors? You didn't like shit.
But you know what Tisha does, which I think is her downfall, is she plays shadow to Marceau when he comes in, and it kind of, you know, like you forget about her, and she does like sink and go back and don't, you know what I mean?
Forget about shit, because Courtney said, I think you should let Tisha lead more. I have a feeling she's more organized.
Right, but he won't listen. No, we don't have gender roles. Like,
but that could have been to Tisha. I'm saying, if you know that this other person in the room, like if I had a parent teacher conference and I know dad be hype, but mom be cool, I will be talking to both of them, but the direction of action will be more to the mom.
The mom.
So all I'm saying is, because I don't want to gaslight Tisha, ain't nobody say shit nice about what her role is. We know all about what is wrong, what y'all need to do better, and where Marceau fucked up at. What did Tisha do well? Anything? Because I think this is growth from Tisha season 1 to doing a Black Expo.
Absolutely. I don't think Tisha is bad. Like, I do feel like Tisha had a good idea. I do feel like Tisha, do you think Tisha didn't want to give Mel money? Or do you think it was Marceau?
I think Marceau had his hand all through that, because Marceau don't even want to give his wife damn near anymore.
Right, so right. I guess we kind of feel like people don't address Tisha because they feel like, you know, they can't. But
you can give her compliments.
Yeah, you can give her compliments.
You can pull out, like I said, I would have at least said, you know, Tisha, what I really liked is knowing you for this long and where we started at. I really enjoyed your idea. I really enjoyed the fact that you wanted to come up with this. I feel like you've been working on a journey to get to this point, and I'm really glad you were able to be successful. I really like the turnout. I think the turnout was pretty good for the first year, and I really like that. I like the fact that you advertised it on this and this social media platform. I like that you gave the vendors additional time. However, I think you should change these things. Would have been better.
I agree with that. It's not what you say sometimes, it's how you present the thing. All right. Now, it would have been a very nicer presentation.
Ain't nobody said nothing nice to that girl.
Tisha would have digested better, but Marceau still would have had some jabs to say.
Well, Kimmy ain't saying nothing nice to Tisha neither.
She didn't.
No.
Kimmy didn't.
Girl, Tisha, I don't even all the way, but I see you here because they got you stuff. They ain't say nothing nice to you. You wasn't tripping. Not a damn thing was nice. Not a damn thing was nice to you.
All right, so let's see what else. Anything less? Courtney and Marceau gets into it. They go back and forth because Marceau throws jabs. And Stormy calls him a bitch, and he says he's a bitch.
Which was out of pocket.
Yeah, for Stormy to call him a bitch is very out of pocket.
Out of pocket. Out of pocket, Storms. Out of pocket. I'm not mad, but that was out of pocket.
I don't think you're wrong, but I think it was out of pocket.
I think it was out of pocket because if Marceau had said something back to you off of that, then you would have placed Courtney in a position to have to flip the table over.
Right, and that's not okay.
It was out of pocket.
I agree. Let's see. Kimmy and Nell, they get together. And Kimmy just wanted to talk to Nell, just let her know that we did have the town hall and I didn't invite you.
But she did, and then she didn't.
Yeah, she told him we're going to have a town hall. And then when she actually had, when I had it, but I decided not to actually include you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Nell was a little salty, but I really didn't think Nell needed to be there. So I didn't understand, like.
I don't think it was about necessarily that. I think what's blowing Nell's mind is this half-ass sense of involvement.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know that y'all already had a relationship with the Fletchers. Y'all didn't want them involved though into the Black Expo. Then you say to the group, we're gonna have a town hall. But then Kimmy out of her own mouth said, then I thought about it I want the feedback to the people who attended, which Tiffany didn't attend. Tiffany was at home on bed. Tiffany was on home on bed
Tiffany
rest.
came. She was supposed to be on bed rest, but she came. Tiffany was there. She sat in the front row. Remember? And then she was sorry. And then she was sorry that she wasn't up there speaking. And it was like you're supposed to be on bed rest. Tiffany
That's right.
Came.
I thought that was a phone call.
No, Tiffany came.
She said that, and she said she's supposed to be on bed rest, so that's how we did it.
Messy Butt was there, and she was due any day. No, Tiffany was there.
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay, cool. So Kimmy changed her mind and said, I only want the people who came up to show. Okay, cool. I think you letting Nell know after the fact, and I'm glad that she said I wanted you to hear from me, but I'm like, I think that's what's making her salty.
Yeah. I can understand that part, but I also understand why Nell shouldn't have even been invited in the first place, because you can't give constructive criticism about events you didn't attend. You already told them.
No, but what she could have said was, I think the thing that I would have for constructive feedback, since I wasn't able to attend, is trying to broader who is allowed to be able to come speak.
So for me, what Nell did was Nell and Chris had a meeting with them already and told them that. So
correct.
They didn't even.
And I agree. I wasn't mad at Kimmy for what she's saying. But as far as like Nell kind of feeling away, I'm just saying that I kind of understood, because you said it as a general.
Like, I invited you, but I took it back. I invited you, but I changed my mind.
But you changed your mind, you know, and they agreed to disagree.
And anybody that invites you somewhere and then they uninvite you or they don't include you, like if I'm having a group meeting with my friends, like, oh y'all, we gonna go da 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 da. Like I kind of experienced that recently, right? I did a girls trip recently. It was a group of us that all knew about it. 3 people, they couldn't go. They said they couldn't go, right? The trip still went on. Now 2 remembered that we were supposed to do the trip and they said they couldn't go, but 1 was like, how you gonna have a trip without me? And it was like, you said you ain't want to go. I don't remember that, but you did. You know what I mean? So now if we didn't invite her, then that would be a thing. Or if we invited her and then we did it without her, that would be a thing. But no, we told you, you said you couldn't go, but we did it anyway. You know what I mean?
I really liked Nell. I actually like Nell and Kimmy on the scene because I like the way that they handle conflict.
Me too.
So I like that Nell was a little like, and I like Kim said, you mean invite you to my shit? My meeting? I liked it because it was like, it was the right amount of shade for me. You know what I mean? It didn't go far left. And
she handled it right. She was like, okay, girl. It wasn't like it ain't get too big. Like
it didn't get too big.
Like they make stuff way bigger than it need to be. It ain't that big, but I see you though. That's kind of how it was.
We see each other. And I like that. And we move on to another scene.
Yes, I like that. Okay, so then the last scene is Martell meets with Chris. Martell's still in that damn house. He said he need like another week and a half. It's like, bro, they should have just evicted him and his family at this point.
They should have.
Because he just taking advantage. I don't have nothing else to say except for you needed to be gone. And that's ridiculous that you're trying to take advantage of your friendship with Chris to stay in somebody's house, which you need to be out of. That's just ridiculous.
They should have evicted him. And I don't know, maybe they are evicting him and they're trying to see if maybe he can get out before the sheriff and all this paperwork shit comes. I'm not really sure. Yeah. But what I found the most disheartening about that situation was that you're putting Chris in a situation where his clients may not trust his decision making anymore, right? Exactly. Because obviously Huntsville isn't that big according to y'all, and that word travels around. And so you're messing with his reputation as a broker, as a real estate agent. Agreed. You're messing with that for him.
For sure.
And so I am really hoping that after this situation, the Fletchers really distance themselves and move accordingly. I ain't saying cut y'all little friend off, but very much move accordingly. And because this is like the second or third time he done played in y'all face. From the court stuff to this, like hopefully y'all are understanding to take these steps back.
Yep, I agree. Then we move to Chris telling Martell about his meeting with the Scotts and how they basically Marceau basically threw jabs at scope and how the business was and how they got the business and it was trash and they don't add no value and all that, whatever stuff that Marceau was saying. And Martell got mad and went off. I mean, that's gonna kind of probably play out for the rest of the season because it gives Martell something to do, and it makes him look like we're the hosts, we're united. We did this and they brought them in
all the time. Anytime he can make it seem like they are one band, one sound, he gets very excited about.
Yeah.
Wow. Our good girl don't give a damn, and she had a flight to catch, and she be in and out. She don't even speak to you. She forgets you there. But
right. She do. So what did you think of the episode?
I'm not as bored with this half as I was the first one, if I'm gonna be totally honest. I'm not bored. I think it's moving at a pace that is okay for me. Is it the best? No, but I feel like it's not stagnant. So like I guess this following episode coming up on Saturday will really let me know kind of more of where I'm at with the season, because there is no more expo talk.
Right.
After this, we did the town hall, we did the little meetings, we did the briefings. Like, let's move on.
We're done. Yes,
we're done with this. And I saw in the preview Kiki about to tell us about Marceau again. But let me tell you something, Kiki, because I know it's already filmed, and I'm just letting you know. Since you decided to out your sister's marriage, you better bring us a credible receipt. If this is something you really want to put on TV, your cousin's business, you better put it all out there. You better not be lying. You better not be half-assing this shit. Like, if you really gonna put your cousin out there, you might as well full-blown bring the bazooka.
And then to Kiki's friends and other family members, watch yourself.
Come over my house after that.
Okay.
I just bet y'all, she would have had too many strikes for me. Kiki would be able to come by coming up on Thanksgiving. She need to go somewhere with that, because that's ridiculous.
But somebody would do to somebody else, they would do to you. So don't be thinking, oh, we can Kiki and this is good. That is family cousins. I would not ever do that to one of my cousins. I just wouldn't. So I mean, it's good for TV and we get some good tea, but that's your family. Right. So all right, girl. So that's that, y'all. We getting ready to break and watch this Dateline. I gotta figure out what channel it's on so I can.
All right, is this on Hulu? Girl, I'm already looking on my phone. Like, where is this on a Hulu app with her and Jada with Jada Pinkett?
Right.
I feel like it should be on Hulu.
Yeah. Somebody inbox us. Let us know a link of where we can watch it. I'm gonna actually go to actual TV, turn on Spectrum and see if it's something going on.
I don't have Spectrum. I got Spectrum Internet. I only do apps.
I got Spectrum Internet too, but I got apps too. So we better try to.
I don't do really like live TV. I just do apps. So hopefully my Hulu has it. NBC Dateline, right, y'all? And we'll let y'all know the tea.
All right, so we'll be back to talk about the Will and Jada situation, Jada Pinkett's new book, and a few more hot topics. So we love y'all. We'll talk to y'all in a bit.
Bye.